All right, today we're going to break down how you can turn that digital trail you're already leaving behind into your single most powerful asset. Let's dive right in.
So, here's something that might just stop you in your tracks for a second. You already have a personal brand. Yep, whether you've built it on purpose or not, it's there. Every single post you've liked, every comment you've dropped, all those online interactions, they're all weaving together to create your digital identity. And guess what? That is exactly how the world sees you.
And that leads to the really critical question you need to ask yourself. Is that brand an asset or a liability? You see, an asset can swing doors wide open for you, land you your dream job, help you build an incredible network. But a liability? Well, that could be anything from old party photos to some off-the-cuff comments you made years ago, and they could be actively working against you right now. The choice here is way more important than you think.
The thing is, for most of us, this brand is a complete accident. It's just a random, kind of chaotic collection of everything we've done online. But this accidental brand has very real-world consequences. It influences everything from getting into college to landing massive career opportunities. It's a story the world is telling about you, whether you're the one who wrote it or not.
And that, right there, is the heart of it all. The goal isn't to create some brand new person out of thin air. It's about taking control of what's already there. It's about making a conscious, deliberate shift from that accidental default brand to an intentional one that is actively working for you and your goals.
So to build with intention, you've got to work backward. It really starts by asking three fundamental questions. First, what are you actually selling? What's the value you're offering the world? Second, who is that one perfect person who needs that value more than anyone else? And finally, how do you create content that speaks directly to them and, just as importantly, tunes everyone else out?
Okay, before we go any further, we need to stop and just completely bust the biggest myth in personal branding. It's this idea that you need a huge, sprawling audience to be successful. No way! The goal isn't fame, it's impact. And, let's be honest, it's wealth.
So how many followers do you really need? The number is probably going to shock you. It's not millions, it's not even hundreds of thousands. The magic number, the one you should actually be aiming for, is just 1,000.
And this quote from Iman Gaji just hits the nail on the head. It's not about having millions of followers. It's about having 1,000 of the right ones. 1,000 true fans who are actually engaged, who listen to you, who are ready to act. They are infinitely more powerful than 1,000,000 people who just passively scroll by your stuff.
This means you have to totally shift your focus away from what we call vanity metrics. You know, things like likes, views, follower count. They're like a sugar high. They feel good for a minute, but they have zero substance. The real metric, the one that builds a real sustainable future, is profit per follower. That's where the quality of your audience and your intention really pays off.
Still not convinced a small audience can win? Okay, check out this real-world example of what we'd call a micro-personal brand. A friend of the source material, with just 4,000 YouTube subscribers, is earning well into 6 figures a year with his coaching business. How is that even possible? It's because nearly every single one of those 4,000 people is his perfect customer.
So, if a small, hyper-targeted audience is the goal, how in the world do you attract them? Well, the answer is content. Your content is the engine. It's the thing that's going to build your intentional brand and bring exactly the right people knocking on your door.
Now this next concept, this is an absolute game changer. It's called negative cost of acquisition. Think about this for a second. Instead of you paying for ads to go find customers, the content platforms like YouTube literally pay you through ad revenue, all while your content is bringing in your ideal clients. You are literally getting paid to acquire new customers. It's the ultimate win-win.
I just want you to let these numbers sink in for a moment. One single YouTube video. It earned its creator over $250,000 in ad revenue alone. That's pretty impressive, right? But here's the absolutely mind-blowing part. That same video led to $20 million in sales. That is the unbelievable power that we're talking about here. So how do you create content that can do that? Well, it all rests on 3 really powerful pillars. First, authenticity. Be unapologetically you. People connect with real stories and real journeys, not some perfect, unrelatable hero. Second is impact. Solve a genuine problem for your audience. You don't need to be the world's #1 expert. You just need to be a trusted guide who's one step ahead. And third, intention. Make sure every single piece of content you make is designed to attract your ideal follower and nobody else. Okay, so you've built your content engine. It's authentic, it's impactful, it's intentional, and it's starting to capture the right kind of attention. So what's the next logical step? Well, it's turning that valuable attention into a sustainable income.
The key here is to find your unique value zone, or UVZ. Let's use what's called the third layer theory to figure this out. Layer 1 is the broad market, something like health. It's way too crowded. Layer 2 is a niche, like weight loss. It's getting better, but still super competitive. But layer 3, that's your sweet spot. Weight loss for new mothers. See? Now you're speaking to a specific audience with a specific urgent problem.
And once your unique value zone is crystal clear, the simplest and often most profitable way to start earning is through one-on-one coaching. You can charge premium high-ticket prices because you're solving a high-value problem for a very specific group. I mean, just a handful of clients a month can translate into a full-time income. And the best part? The sales become almost effortless because you're already talking to the perfect people.
So we've gone from the big idea of an accidental brand all the way to the nuts and bolts strategy of building an intentional one. Now, let's bring it all together and talk about the single most important takeaway from all of this.
And this is the crucial point to remember. A personal brand isn't just a business model, it's a universal asset. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, an engineer, an entrepreneur, whatever. An intentional personal brand is the ultimate career accelerator. It's what can make everything else you do feel so much easier. It's like playing life on easy mode.
So, I'll just leave you with this one thought. Every single day, you are writing your digital story. Whether you realize it or not, you're doing it. You can let that story be an accident, or you can pick up the pen and write it with intention. So the only question left is, what story will you tell?